CRL weekend concludes, and now we are back, and we're getting ready for more EU RLCS action, and of course NA as well. We got a big show today, of course, but as you guys know, and if you haven't known, I'm gonna tell you right now. Obviously, as Daz, we're talking. The new season is out. Season 11 of Rocket League. It is looking absolutely amazing. If you guys haven't seen anything on Season 11, well, we got the trailer for you right now. Season 11 is live now. You saw it there, the Nissan Silva S13. Of course, you're going to dive into a color-filled rocket pass and celebrate Soccer's most joyous moments in the new arena, Estadio Vida Arena. It's going to be awesome, like we said, live right now. So go ahead, get that rank grind, get that rocket pass grind going. Of course, Roldiz and T-Bates here, except where's Roldiz?
Oh, yo, what's good? Sorry, I was doing my best Vatira impression. So,
oh god.
Yeah, I'm here now though. I'm here. What's good? What's happening with y'all? Hello? Wait, am I here? Hello?
Yo, Bates, where's Raul? You see him?
Bates over here enjoying some snacks. Bates, what you eating? Wait, is Bates?
Where is Bates?
Where's Bates? Bates. Hello?
Yo, I'm eating a French fry, bro. I'm chewing.
Look, Bates is the dude. He said he chews all his food before he talks.
I'm chewing, bro. Yeah, I'm here. Of course I'm here. I was also trying to process your Vatira joke one last time, you know? Last time, you know, your little jokes are very cute. Your
Wait, you want
jokes
to rate it? Wait, don't call it cute, man. I thought we talked about this.
No, we're not talking about this on the mainstream. Anyway, we're not getting into this conversation. I'm not doing it. Not doing it here. Yeah, it was very cute. And yeah, this is gonna be the no be all. Very cute little joke. Before we get into the video, I just have to let all of you know that over 50% of our viewers, 50% are not subscribed to the channel. We are on the road to 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and we need your help to get there. So please hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, and enjoy the video.
Okay, well, guess what? First Touch is here. You can see all of us. And if you want to see us all at the World Championship, I think we're all stars. Well, did you make it yet? Did y'all?
Nah, we're not confirmed yet, but
okay,
another good performance from us. We got it.
Well, hopefully they qualify. If they do qualify, you're going to see them as well as me and Bates at Dusseldorf, Germany. Tickets are live right now. Ben, let's roll the World's Tickets video.
I thought you were confirmed for Worlds.
Oh, wait, for Worlds? Yeah, we are confirmed. I thought you meant for Boston.
Why is the video not rolling? Hell!
It's not there.
Is it
it's
not
there? I hear it,
match point on the line. Furia and Moist 5 minutes away from discovering who will have all of that on their side. They're on the rotation back. Forced it. Hit one and never rises under pressure. That was a forced mistake. Matrix is around the demo, gets the ball. He's now taking his opposite side of the field. On the reset, can he outplay everybody? Right! That was otherworldly!
was awesome. Make sure to get your Worlds tickets now. You can see the at the bottom of the screen at rl.gg/2023 Worlds tickets live. So you're gonna make sure you want to check that out. Yeah, boys, can we do something here real quick? I want to test something.
Yeah.
I'm gonna count to 3. When I say 3, we clap, okay? So it's gonna be 1, 2, 3, and then clap, okay? 1, 2, 3. Did Raul clap?
No,
Yeah.
I don't know where.
Wait, you didn't see it? Oh.
No. Hopefully that worked out. Chat, thank you for clapping with us, chat. I appreciate it.
Trying to make sure the audio is synced. That's all. That's all.
Yeah, that's all.
That's all we're doing.
All right, but speaking of sync, some team was in sync over the course of CRL Worlds. We got to talk about CRL World Championship because that did happen over the course of the weekend. Let's get into it. Hard work, greater than talent. Dr. Boomin Academy wins CRL Worlds. EU takes home CRL in their second season. Let's take a look at the groups.
Why is he crying?
Because, bro, I've been watching CRL for so long. I've been watching the Northwood dominance for so long. I've even watched Akron dominance. No one expected us to get a new world championship in this manner. You take a look at the group stage, and I would say the group stage even was a little shocking as well. If you take a look at groups, the top 2 teams in each group were the teams that have moved on into playoffs. So that if you notice, there's 4 North American teams, there's 4 European teams. That already was something that a lot of people didn't expect because Europe did not get out of groups last year. To see one team was something started. Hamburg was the team that started that off. Then to see other teams kind of follow over the course of the day was it just felt like EU got that momentum good and ran with it. And of course, let's take a look at that final bracket as well to see how the bracket shaped up. Because again, things start off as expected, right? Where, first 3 matches of quarterfinals, Northwood win, Fisher win, Columbia win, and these are not, the series are 3-0s, 3-0, 3-1. But then Akron Blue taking a loss to Dr. Boomin, so then you finally have an EU team in the top 4. Okay, that's cool. They're right into Columbia though, so we're thinking, okay, this will be interesting. I think the Columbia Dr. Boomin match was played first. Or no. Fisher Northwood was played first. I think. Actually, I don't really remember. I just know that Fisher ended up taking down Northwood, and they looked really strong doing it. And then Dr. Boomin taking down Columbia, which again was another shocker. Just kind of felt like I can't even describe it. And then we get to the grand final. And again, Fisher is a team that was playing close to Northwood all season long, but it felt like Northwood just had that overall confidence, so that's why they were winning the matches. We get there, though. Fisher do something they could not do before, take down Northwood in a sweep at the world stage. This was also Fisher's first CRL World Championship. Then they play Dr. Boomin in the final, and it goes 7 games, but it was, again, Dr. Boomin started off with the first game. Fisher took game 2. Then Dr. Boomin put the series on match point. Fisher had to take a timeout to take 2 back. Then you got the Champions Field, and Champions Field was not pretty. Dr. Boomin took it 5-2. And, of course, they are your new CRL World Champions. So congratulations to them. But we have to talk about it because it was so shocking, Bates, to see this. I mean, what do you think went wrong? What are your, before we even get to what went wrong, Raul, I want to know what's your initial reactions to all this?
I didn't really expect anyone other than Lion Blaze to win, right? That's what my initial prediction was when you guys asked me about CRL who's gonna win. I said Lion Blaze. That kid he's had a grip on from what I've seen, a grip on CRL for a minute. But just to know that Ty was on here last week talking about EU and T-Bates and Ty were going back and forth, and T-Bates like, EU got some chances, but I don't really see him passing it. And now we got Dr. Berman. Is that how you say the school name? Boomin. Bro, they going crazy. Like, how do the upset of the century for CRL? Like, what is going on? Talk to me, Bates. Talk to me about your league.
My league?
This is your specialty, man. This is where you was brought up here.
I know I was. I did get brought up. And I don't know, it was a little different back then. Teams don't care as much no more. I mean, first off, Dr. Boomin, they played solid Rocket League. They played great Rocket League the whole entire weekend. That's why they won. I don't know why DeMar sounds so sad. I don't know why it's CRL. It's CRL, but I mean, Dr. Boomin, they took a handout business and they proved that hard work beats talent. When talent doesn't work hard. So when it comes down to it, that's just the fact of the matter. Fisher, DeMar never talked about who's on Fisher's team. For those who don't know, Fisher has Money, who plays for Sup, has Kinsey, who plays for M80, right? And then has Sosa, who plays for Koi. Those are 3 pro players, technically speaking, if you want to be all technical about it now. If you want to get into the technical definition of what pro is, we can have that conversation another date. But in that, and Dr. Boomin, they ain't got no pro players. Zeto's been in the bubble scene. Fabso, I believe, is even grinding, but he had maybe in the bubble scene. And then what is it? And then Sai made a close call. So close call going up against 3 people who have been in top 16s, top 10s, and NA for the past minute now. And they won. And they won because Fisher wasn't putting in the work. Fisher was not putting in the work. Dr. Boomin was putting in the work, and that's how you get the W. That's how you get the W. That's how you get the W's right there. You gotta give it to them. I think they had a absolutely great weekend.
We got some highlights here as well. I want to go. Obviously, I didn't want to say the names yet because in our second tab where it says what went wrong for NA, boom. There are their names right there. These are the highlights here for the grand final. And I wonder if they'll be kind of indicative of what kind of Bates' whole point is. Because you can see Dr. Boom play good Rocket League, but there's a lot of moments there, if you watch, that aren't necessarily clipped, where you see Fisher kind of doing things that were a little unnecessary considering their competition.
A little.
Right there. Oh, okay.
A little unnecessary. See, look, after we go through this, then I'll get my real thoughts on this. Cause see, Fisher losing is just a bigger problem that is just expanded in NA. I think it's a conversation that needs to be had, especially for the people that are trying to come up. I think this might have been Dr. Boomin's last goal where they played offense. What I mean by that is
they play offense. Here we go.
No, this is the last one. No, was it? No, this is where Money passes it down to him. Says here, score him. Yeah. There's a lot of that. Dr. Boomin just took advantage of him. Is this another one of them? No. This is when Fisher actually started doing things. I was sat next to Reddles during this. And he won't mind if I say this. I was sat next to Reddles. Reddles, of course, Optic Reddles, lives in Dallas. This was at DreamHack Dallas. And this goal happened because Kinsey smacked his head against the sidewall. Money would have absolutely trash challenge again. But for some reason, people in NA think this is a good challenge. I don't know why. Makes no sense. I don't know why. But, yeah, Dr.
Wait,
Boomin,
where's he supposed to challenge
Give us
from?
more than 2 years. We had like a 6-year
What the
head
heck?
start on EU. It took him 2 seasons to surpass NA. I can already hear Johnny Boy. He's already cranking up the numbers.
What is this?
EU on top once again. Even in a league we created for ourselves.
RL watched over them like a little angel throughout
was a good
all
weekend, though.
that series.
He looks a lot nicer.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
And the owl talks.
He's a lot less scary.
But it's a big wide world out there, T-Bates. I'm sorry we couldn't get it done after this time, but what a show it was.
What a show indeed. You want to
Dang,
know
Bates,
NA is
what they
small
do to
again.
you?
NA is small again. NA is
It's small again.
Yep, we're just not as good. We're just not as good. EU just absolutely came in and took it away from North America. How long is this dang clip? All right, there we go. There we go.
Bates, were you standing there or like what? What was
No,
going on?
I put the chair down, bro. And if I'm standing, that's what? Relax, buddy. The point I'm making is what went wrong for NA. Just to answer the question, what went wrong is just NA's preparation in general and how we play Rocket League. Maybe not necessarily at the top level, but for a lot of people that are trying to get into the top level. And I think twos is very problematic. I've been thinking about this as of late. Twos has been messing with people. Twos has been, especially NA, it's been messing with the way people play Rocket League. And I don't think it's good. Yeah, because we have no way of utilizing teamwork and chemistry. People were saying And there is a fact that Fisher wasn't scrimming. But to me, Fisher shouldn't need to scrim in order to beat a team who only has one person who's made a main event. That was Zeto all the way back in RLCSX. You shouldn't need to scrim to beat that. It should just be understanding flow, chemistry, and everything else in between. Am I wrong with that, Raul?
No, I agree. I don't think I didn't recognize like any names off Dr. Boomin, but yeah, I'd expect Fisher to kind of take that. I'm not gonna lie, just looking at names.
I mean, yeah. I was talking to Redos, like I said, he was over there, and Redos said if Dr. Boomin had half the individual skill as Fisher, this would be a 4-0. And I agree. It would have been a 4-0. It would have been a slapper because they just knew how to play Rocket League way better than we did. And they were just more than content with just taking the simple plays. And I think people were getting way too wrapped up in trying to be fast and being all flashy and all that. And you don't need to air dribble all the time or reset all the time. You just need to know how to utilize each other on defense, make right plays, don't panic. And the W is you can always compete. And I think that's even representative somewhat even at the higher level to a certain extent. Now, when you play the best of the best, you got to really be the best of the best. But to get up there and just play solid Rocket League, I think it's very undervalued. And Dr. Boomin, they did that and ended up winning them the Serial World Championship. So it's very typical. You got to respect it. And honestly, I was very happy for him because it's something I've been trying to get a whole bunch of young cats nowadays to understand is that at the end of the day, being able to do that reset like Zen or something like that, I mean, it might matter at some point. But solid Rocket League will always prevail, in my opinion. At least up to a certain point. Up to a certain point. Then you got to really be like Bati and stuff, but you got the foundation.
Yeah, I think the foundation is definitely important. And you can kind of see that too with just the way that Dr. Boomin were playing. They did have a good structure. The rotations were really clean. And they've definitely earned that win. So, all in all, I would say congrats to Dr. Boomin. Congrats to EU as well. I mean, everybody had a really good showing there.
But then I also want to say something else, too. I don't want to hear all this EU better than NA from Zero nonsense. Listen, you got your one W. You got your one W. We're going to pump the brakes, and we're going to see what happens. This is a reality check for every single bubble player in NA or even a low-level pro player.
Oh
just booming the ball everywhere is not good Rocket League. Learn how to pass the ball, utilize your teammates, and actually play with some chemistry and teamwork and cohesion.
Hey, you don't learn, man.
What, man?
We just went through the same thing in RLCS where we spent a year, 2 years talking about how we don't think the EU is better than NA, not just yet. Not just yet. And then here it comes, EU just teamwork, just dominating North America over and over and over again. Now CRL gets their EU win, dominating by teamwork. The players aren't even individually as talented. Just the same argument we used to have for RLCS. We were individually talented. We had better players individually, but the teamwork will always prevail. And now EU's dominating CR. It's over for y'all. It's over. It's over for us, man.
Whoa. They didn't dominate. Whoa. They didn't dominate.
Okay, they didn't dominate. That's a 4-3, but it shouldn't be 4-3, right?
Well, don't matter. They're the best team they're the best team on Championship Sunday. You got to respect it.
And now they're just going to get better.
Sunday. No, I mean, yeah, they are going to get better. But now I got a whole bunch of people saying EU's just better than NA and CRL. Pump the brakes. Slow down. But I do respect it. I'm really happy for them boys. They're really happy. I like seeing that. So
I feel like it's going to make a lot of... I feel like we're going to see some changes in CRL rosters over this break now, after this.
We're going to get CRL roster moves?
Yeah, we're going to get some roster moves.
Transferring schools?
Come over here to my school. I mean, EU's already doing roster moves. I think Calix, he was playing on Hamburg. He went somewhere else now, trying to build a super team. Oh, Calix went to NA. Oh, they're already coming to the region.
That we're gonna make y'all better. Don't worry.
That's pain. You know something that's not pain? Gen G Mobile 1 Racing Black. Let's talk about NA's last hope. Yeah, sure, CRL, we're losing, but GG! They did it again!
Nah, you don't get to talk because you get paid by them and you weren't even there.
I was there.
No, you weren't.
I literally have a photo of me there. What are you talking about? You on my phone. Do you want to see it? I took a picture of the stage and everything.
Stacks you were there when they won?
Yeah. When they won? The first matchup.
No, when they won.
Oh, no, I had to go back to the hotel room, but I knew they were going to win anyways.
So you don't get to talk.
I'm sorry, I do get to talk. This is my team.
No, you don't.
And they did absolutely amazing. I don't see your team. Where's your team?
I don't have a team, bro. It's just
You do have a team. G2.
No, I don't. I don't get paid by
no,
anybody.
bro. There were people coming up to him saying, "Oh my God, G2 teammates," and he was like, "No, that's not me. I'm the unbiased one."
First off, don't say
unbiased
people.
one.
Don't say people. It was Karma. Karma was walking up. She said,
And she's on the team.
Yeah, I congratulated her for being a G2. Those who know, Karma just got signed to G2, and then she was like, "Oh yeah." And then what are you G2 teammates? I'm like, no, and I'm not. That's the people is one person, and if you're
shame.
misrepresenting the conversation that occurred. But
That is a
anyways,
shame.
back to Gen G and One Black. They had an absolutely great weekend. NA's last hope. You know why? Because both women's teams were from NA in the finals, so that's why we call it NA's last hope. We can win something. So that's good.
Yeah. Speaking of which, the first matchup, Misfits versus Williams Resolve. Everyone thought Williams Resolve's team was the best one at the event. They were like expected to win it. That was actually a really entertaining series that also ended up going the distance as well. And then, of course, you see this one from the finals, Misfits versus Gen G Mobile One Racing Black. It's so interesting too, just kind of see how that turnout was, because they had a very large turnout. Seats were packed at the arena. I believe before Rocket League hosted or rated, they had 1,500 viewers. It was very lovely to be able to see all that support happen for Rocket Clash, because this is the first ever international women's Rocket League LAN event, and people want to see more of that. There's definitely a want for that. There's definitely an audience there, and to be able to see what they could do on stage with just such a small event too. You're talking like 4 teams, best of 7s, like that's over very quickly. Imagine having more teams at an event like this, more time to prepare, more than just a one-day tournament, like making this like an actual event that people can show up and show out to. There's definitely a potential for that, and I was very excited to see Rocket Clash and how well it did at DreamHack Dallas.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Big LAN. Love to see that. It's gonna help in the future as more women start performing on these LANs, put some more eyes on it, makes Rocket League more inclusive game for everybody, and that's what we want to see. Rocket League global. I want it to be a global game, inclusive game, a place where every single person can always come in and just want to play. And that was pretty cool. It's pretty cool LAN, pretty cool moment, and a lot of people were there. A lot of people were there towards the back end of it. And it was hype too. They got skill. I know they could beat DeMar in every single ranked game they ever played. So, and I've lost to Courtney in tournaments. So, with great players.
I just had Courtney on my team. I think yesterday.
With great
she was
players.
over here with chain dashing and hitting flip resets. I'm like, all right, man, go ahead and carry me. Go ahead and carry me.
Courtney nice. I'm not gonna lie.
She's nice.
She always been nice though. She's always been good. So yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. That was a fantastic. And all the players there in the league were also fantastic as well. Just being able to see like that high level competition, like you said. And you know, it is kind of like so interesting too, because we talked about CRL where, you know, you had the EU team come in and win that tournament. You see the talent on Williams Resolve being the team that everybody expected to win Rocket Clash. EU just is like developing talent really well over the course of the region. So we have that next segment, EU on top, that I want to get into. And as we get into it, I got to bring in 2 players that have been around the game and definitely have an opinion on this one. Noli and Garrett G. Big no! Garito Barito! Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
Got to sit over my nameplate.
I know.
What's
we
going
got a good view of the back wall right now. The
I'm telling you, decorator, you need to do some of that wall, man.
It's just been a while. You know, I just moved in. You know, a solid half year ago. I'm still taking my time.
Just moved in. You've been there for a year, bro. I remember we did a show a year ago.
Listen,
you're in that room.
I'm picking stuff slowly. You know, just give me some time. You know, I'm taking my sweet time.
I got something for my cat, and the desk is for me. We chilling.
He did have, I believe, the World's medal. Is that the World's medal to the wall?
Yeah, I got him up there with some pin tacks. You know, nothing crazy. It's kind of scuffed, but it's all right. I'm just not a good decorator. You know, I'm working on it. Just give me some time.
I see. We got the bare wall, and then we got Noli ascending into heaven. No, what's going on with the window, man? Oh, the blinds are closed. Oh. Nola, you're muted. You're muted. You're muted. Nah, you're probably not muted. Oh, he said chat just to let you know. He said that the blinds were closed. Yeah. He's still muted apparently. Are you muted on vMix?
Look, I'm gonna have to do some troubleshooting right now.
I should be good.
Every single show we got somebody muted. Every single show we got some. He's good now.
Yeah.
He's good now.
Good. Okay,
I just have to
you're
reconnect. Yeah, that's fine. That's
I
fine.
just have to
Okay.
reconnect. I heard you. Okay, I like it. Look, your stream. It looks really good at night. I don't know about the brightness during the day, but it looks really good at night. I was in the stream, so glad to see you, bro.
You as well, man.
Okay, so Garrett, Noli, we've been watching Open Air. We've had players like Addo, Vatira, Zen, etc., who've all been grinding since the beginning of that, and now they've been sitting on the top. Garrett, obviously, you've been playing the game for a very, very long time. I want to start with you. Do you think EU is more successful at developing talent?
I don't appreciate the two varies there. Making me sound old, but
My bad, bro. My bad.
I think. Well, I'll answer yes, but I don't think it's credit to like the players of the region. I feel like there's a lot of reasons. Honestly, I've talked about this on my stream before, but one, I think EU's better. Just to be honest, especially in the depth discussion. I mean, the whole time. I mean, EU used to be way better too. I think NA caught up a little bit, to be honest, at the top. But I think the language barrier with teams, like creating different communities, helps. I think the overall mindset of the players helps. Like when T-Base earlier was talking about Zen, I just guarantee that if Zen was a North American player, he would have not have played his first event and played the role he played. Like that to me raised his stock beyond any like one show match crazy mechanics. Like I was so impressed just at the role he played. Like it felt like he did not care about, doing something peak just for, he could have tried to do everything, looked insane, and they could have lost the event and he would have been praised more than he is now. Like I was impressed at the way he played, but I think that's just an overall like mindset difference when it comes to the game. And I think the CRL thing kind of even summarizes that as well. Like it's just EU teams have always played the game for what it is and not overthought. That's how I've always viewed it. And that's what always made Europe hard to beat for me. Even if the talent, if you want to say the talent was better at the time, like at certain matches, like Europe just always makes it hard to win. Like even if you're better than them, like they make it difficult to win. They don't overthink. So yes, but I don't think it's like when it comes to North America developing talent, I don't think it's the top players' faults, in my opinion. Like when's the last time new players have come up and beat top NA teams? Like a trio of upcoming players in EU has done that so many times. And I don't think it's because of something the top players did to help them. Like no top player is going to help someone come up, like the top European pros aren't making people better than them on purpose, like it's just a result of the region in my opinion. So yeah.
What do you think, Noli?
I mean, he's absolutely right. I remember a time when me and Garrett were playing 2v2 when I was back in Europe, and we were just both complaining about how NA has this like hero ball playstyle, and nobody wants to pass to each other. It's all about me.
Yeah.
And then and I really think that's what holds a lot of people back, because EU, as Gareth says, they play it for as it is. They play Rocket League as it's meant to be played, as a team game, and I think that's what it even helped us with our transition over to NA.
Raul, you in agreement here?
I think that EU has incorporated a lot of teamwork. The proof is everywhere. Like you see Gen.G, the two European players come over. They pick up Chronic, who wasn't having that much success in North America. It's extremely great talent. Like everybody looks at the hindsight 2020 now. You look at Chronic and everybody's like, yeah, he was in conversation for top 5 when Gen G was winning the major. Like Chronic was up there in the names, and before that he was nowhere. Like no one, like people would talk about Chronic as a prospect, but they wouldn't talk about Chronic like they talk about Chronic now. And now he's always in conversations. It's just like the gameplay difference between North America and EU is just, it's there. Like they use teamwork way more than North America. And I like exactly what they're saying is it's like hero ball over here. We just like wait for our individually mechanical players, like top mechanical players, to create some space and make an open net for somebody to score, or he has to beat like 2 or 3. And it's just like Europe uses everybody.
And is that because of NA2s?
No.
No, but I was gonna say NA2s is pretty bad compared to Europe to me. At least when I've played it in the short spans, like while I'm in Europe. But sorry, you go ahead, Nolly. I don't have any more on that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I mean, from what I like, from my judgment is that it's like a culture-based thing. Like it comes from, like, most people who are in Rocket League come from like a sports background before, and I guess just what you've been told in those sports backgrounds, which is like led to your mentality going into things when it comes to Rocket League now. I think that's what makes the differences.
Interesting.
I think a lot of NA players value being praised as much as winning sometimes. That's what it feels like, at least. And part of me thinks it's because from the very beginning, that was kind of the play style NA players had. Like the players we looked up to in NA, like back then, even just saying like, I mean, Kronovi, he was mechanically insane. People wanted to be that like mechanically insane, you know, do it themselves type player. And meanwhile, in Europe, you had Weedham girls. Like, I mean, and this is going back really far, and it's kind of like, you know, it doesn't matter now. But I think you're a result of the teams you kind of look up to. You know, if something works, like you're trying to copy it, even if it is the wrong thing, I guess. Not the wrong thing, but you know, if someone's doing something and they're the best, you're gonna copy that. And I think that's why Europe and NA and every region has gone in different directions, to me at least.
I see. I also think, and Garrett, we talked about this on your stream. Well, I was chatting in your stream, but you were talking about it. I think you touched on it a little bit. I also think it's the fact that they have so many countries that they have those little niches. Those niches where it like forces you to play with people, in my opinion.
Dude.
Is that a big thing? From outside looking in, it seems like it. Like France plays with France. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I was never really close with like the UK scene, like ever. So I always felt quite excluded, which is why I always wanted to move to America, where everybody's where everybody does speak English, and you know, I don't have to worry about getting kicked out of teams for not being, you know, a certain nationality. So I can't really speak too much on that, but I think the bonds that are created through those like cliques within nationalities strengthens players. Like look at France, you know.
Yeah, and in my opinion, I think the perfect example of this, and this is not even like a roast or anything, but to me, I don't think Exotic was like one of the, at the time, like insanely best free agents. I think that a lot of that had to do with like him, Vatira and Itachi, you know, wanting a French speaking team. And he's turned into like one of the best players in the world. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that, but, and I mean, I think the perfect example is we all talk about the age thing. Exotic's 20 and he's just now hitting his stride. And I think that has to do with like the French community and them wanting to play with French players. And I don't think that's 100% to credit the developing talent, but that's just a perfect example of like, I think in NA, if you somehow converted everyone to just English speaking North Americans, I don't think the same team would have been built, in my opinion. I could be wrong, but it feels like in NA, it's purely, I don't even say skill, but it's almost like stock as well. Like when players team with each other, it's like about their stock. And I mean, it's kind of understandable because there's not really something to bond over other than, you know, that, you know, like, I mean, the French community seems very proud and very focused on having French players. You know, I think BDS is the biggest contrary to that, but I think that has to do with bad results and like it's the end of the season type thing. But yeah, that's the biggest example to me. And like I said, that's not a dig at Exotic at all. He's insane. But I didn't think that before they formed, and maybe, you know, they obviously knew something I didn't, but I think that's the biggest example of it with the niche communities.
To be honest, Exotic's always had potential. Even on like he was always like a very good scrim player, but I guess he didn't have a team that he felt comfortable with. And with the KC team that it is now, it does seem like they're all like super good friends and they want to win for each other. So I guess that's what helped him elevate even more.
I also think like in North America, we're like a lot more judgy on like players, I guess. Because like in Europe, you'll see potential. Like you could see potential in a lot of bubble players in North America. And I think if it was flipped and we had the same mentality that Europeans have, a lot of these bubble players that we have would have gotten chances taken on them. But I think in North America, it's like way different. And we don't want to take chances on players, or like unless they are absolutely dominant in like twos, or they're like absolutely peaking consistently over and over again, or they have a lot of hype behind their names. But like in Europe, you'll take chances. Like I think Alpha 54 got taken, like Vitality took a chance on him, and he's turned out to be one of the best players in the region. Exotic, another example.
No. That's wrong.
Alpha already was one of the best players.
Yeah, Alpha was on Barcelona before Vitality.
And he was disgusting.
Yeah.
Wait, but didn't
Alpha's always been nasty.
Alpha's always been nasty.
they didn't see him on the twos leaderboard and took a chance on him?
No, he dominated RS on Barcelona, right?
Barcelona was at Worlds.
He went through RS with Barcelona, made it to RLCS, and then
Then he was TSM, and they barely didn't make it.
Yep.
And then they kicked Scrub for Alpha. But I have a question though about that. Like, why do you think? Because I don't know the answer. Why do you think trios of these like upcoming players never make runs? Like it never. I think the last time I can think of upcoming players doing it is like Peeps. Like
in North America,
and you guys, honestly, like Birds and the Bees. Yeah, like you have Queso coming out of nowhere. You have like Oski and Atobium duos. Like I feel like in NA, it's like you have upcoming players that a team would have to take a chance, whereas in EU, they make changes after these guys come up and beat them.
After they make the run.
Yeah, that's what it feels like to me, at least. They do take more chances. You're right, but there's also these players that like it feels like they have the mentality to take it to wins instead of just potential. That's what it feels like to me when I watch.
Was anybody's when did Queso start receiving scrums last year?
Scrum. It was the first split of season.
The first
11.
split?
The first split of season 11, or like the 21-22 season, I think. Yeah.
So after so that's when were they getting off of just like because they were good and ranked. I do know that EU teams tend to scrim everybody is a little bit. They kind of like work that 1 through 15 range, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
for regionals, right?
Yeah, the Queso qualified for regionals, but they weren't getting like fantastic results. I think they did get like a top 8. And then like afterwards, like a bunch of teams were offering them to join like players because they saw potential. Like even me on Guild, I asked Vatira, Jojo, and Rise, if each of them individually wanted to join that team. But then afterwards, like because they stuck together, that's where like I think that was the best decision for them. Because then that's where they, made major, came second, and then won the major afterwards.
See me. I got the hardest opinion on it. I really don't think that in NA we think about the game as much as we should. Or maybe it's an overcomplication. I'm not too sure. Is that one either or is one or the other. As far as these up and comers like Chronic 2Piece, and who the Chronic 2Piece used to play with all the time.
Knight.
Beast, yeah.
No, Beast left them.
They made regionals with Knight.
Okay, Knight.
They beat us with Knight.
Okay. That team's just pure skill. That team is just that's just a pure skill team.
Do you think like that team should be able to like, I mean, maybe it's hindsight, but like they should have been able to go far, like for further.
Go further is what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, if that was, we want to do the transfer everything. If that was the European levels of talent, I guess in comparison, I feel like they could have made runs.
Okay.
Yeah,
here's where I'm gonna go with that. Here's where I'm gonna go with that. See, and when 2Piece is coming up, I also think it applies to like a Kensei. I think it applies to a lot of these really, really talented people. I really blame Twos. I don't think people know how to utilize each other as well as in EU. And I think a lot of it is because in Twos is just straight. Twos is air dribble. Your turn, my turn. It's a lot of sit back. And when you watch some of these really good players in NA especially, that have really good mechanics and everything. That's all they're doing. They're not like cutting. In EU, you watch EU2s or you play EU2s. Monkey Moon and then the people below him, like in terms of skill, they're hovering around the play with 20 boost. And in A, we back all the way up. We back all the way up and grabbed the 100. It was very apparent when Johnny was doing the twos, and it was EU playing twos and Mina playing twos and NA playing twos. The difference between NA and everybody else was so distinct, and I think that definitely has a major impact, because for a team like 2P's Chronic Knight to come up and beat a team like NRG, they might get y'all, Garrett, back in the day, maybe a series off a skill, but they're not gonna get y'all all the time because they're not playing Rocket League the correct way. Nowhere near the correct way. They're really just gonna bank on the mechanics every single time. Where a team like EU, Vatira, especially on that Queso team, Vati did play back, but Vati also challenges quite a lot. Like, and Rise goes for the ball. We all know Rise go for the ball all the time. So like, they're constantly challenging, constantly pressuring, and that makes it harder for a better team necessarily to win. It also makes them shine a little bit more. I think a lot of it just goes to just the stylistic differences. We need 100, or we feel like we need 100. In comparison to them, they feel like they can make plays with 20 and 30. And I think, which in reality you can, which I think helps them. That's just me, and I think a lot of it goes into the twos.
You're right. When I watch like K-Corp, they're more willing to do nothing with the ball. If that makes sense. Like a lot of times. I mean, there's a lot of times where Itachi he could have done so much, he sits there and 50s it to someone else. Like, like there's so many times. I think that's why they're able to stay in a lot. And but it's just weird because I mean, I think Rollers is like there is a lot of talent. It's just in my opinion, you can't blame the top pros or like the top teams for not taking chances when they beat them. I mean, I feel like if they were losing more often to these guys, like it would happen. But it feels weird to make a move when you're beating them consistently, and you like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just think there's a reason everything falls into place. And I think if the same thing that was happening in Europe was happening here, it'd be the same thing. There is like some mentality differences. Or I think it is a result of the mentality differences, why it's different. But I think it has fallen that way in Europe because it's harder to win against these guys. Like, I don't know. There's more pressure to make that change. Than in my opinion. I don't know.
I also feel like in Europe there's a lot more like talent that's closer together that you can pick from, whereas in NA like there is a decently bigger drop off from like the very top to like the bottom.
There's a huge drop off.
Yeah,
it feels like there's a huge drop off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's why like in Europe like they're fine picking up players who are nasty and ranked, getting 2400 with like maybe one top 8 result because they know they can perform.
But it's just weird why. I just don't get why. It's so odd. Like I honestly don't have an answer why. It's just, I mean, I know, like I said, I noticed that when I go and play ranked, like I feel like these guys would be top pros in NA. Like when I'm playing people I've never heard of.
Oh, you're playing at twos?
Yeah, like when we're like, I mean, even way back like in Sweden, we're in EU. I'm like, there's nothing. It's weird because when I play European twos, it's like there's nothing special happening, but it makes everyone so good. Like, I don't know if that makes sense. There's no one that's in particular, like, absolutely popping off, but everyone seems to have the same mindset of just like, I'm going to do the easiest, like most, the simplest thing possible. But I'm going to be really hard to beat. Even when I played Monkey Moon, I felt like it wasn't anything insane happening. It was just so solid, hard wasn't he?
Yep.
It was just so hard to win.
Solid.
Like, he was always there. There wasn't going to be a free opportunity. He was always there. Yeah.
Trust me, when me and Raul were watching it, it was I still think it's one of the greatest performances I've ever seen. It was just so solid. He was there every time. He was there. It didn't matter what y'all did, Garrett. He was gonna be there. He was gonna be there.
What are you talking about? Are you talking about Sweden?
Sweden.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, why do you think we're laughing? Because I was like, what are we supposed to do? This is so hard.
He was just always there. It didn't matter. It didn't matter what y'all did.
It's always been like that.
I've spoke about it a few times, and like, there's only ever been one time where I've gone to a series knowing I was going to lose, and that was against BDS in Season X, where it was just like, oh, not again. I guess my run ends here.
That is so sad.
That's funny.
Yeah,
I think that's also a testament to it. It's like I think in Europe there's respect for the top teams, but they always go in with that confidence that their teamwork, like they can beat those top teams, except for like if there's a team that's dominated like BDS back then. But
that was just a pure mental block with me because for me, like Monkey Moon is my goat, you know. So like that was always going to be a mental block for me. But for any other team, like it is like there is no like mentality going into it knowing you're going to lose. It's like, okay, let's see what we can do, you know.
Yeah, and in North America, I think there's a lot more of you're like intimidated by. There's a bunch of individual great talents amongst so many teams that you'll go into a match and you'll just be like, all right, we gotta always worry about what Justin's gonna do, what
I was about to say,
FK's gonna do, what Beast Mode.
I feel like we'd win series because people were just afraid of Justin at times. 100%.
We
Like,
still
100%.
feel we still feel that way too. Like because of how good we were in the first split. Like going into second split, we should not have won some of those series, but we did purely based on like a fear factor kind of.
And that's also why in the first split, like when you guys came over, for example, I thought like you guys could qualify for majors, but honestly, like just being straight up, I had you guys like from like highest third to like 7th.
Yeah, just third. We put ourselves like 6th to 8th.
Yeah, like or around there. To be, I bumped it up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But and you guys would be so much better in the playoff brackets. And I started thinking, I was like, well, I mean, these guys. I mean, when I would watch European tournaments, it was like every playoff bracket. There was not like an easy run. And to me, it felt like you guys just didn't care that you had to play FaZe first because you were used to going through the gauntlet every 2 weeks in every regional. And I was starting to think, I feel like it's a mental thing for them because they're just not scared, probably, like when they get into these playoff brackets. Because every regional, I was like, they beat FaZe. I was like, what? You know, like I just didn't expect it.
Aside from that first one where FaZe like came in and just dominated, that was the time like we came in and like we got second in that first regional and we were like, oh, you know, like we've really like came in and started strong, but like we still felt so far away from FaZe. Like it was that first beating they gave us. I think that's what started our revenge arc to be better. And I think that's what I think that EU has as well, is like when you get knocked down, like you're determined to get back up and get back to the top. Whereas in NA, it's like when you lose, like it's always just excuses upon excuses as to why you lost.
Oh my gosh, you ain't ever lie about that. The excuses, they pile up. It's the American way. Stop making excuses.
You gotta cope.
Honestly, like I've gotten to a point where I've been in America long enough that I'm sort of transitioning into that way too. So I need to.
Don't do it.
I know
you can't go back.
No, it's pretty bad. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he wasn't feeling well. Something was going on. My game was lagging a lot. Like,
you know, I think the new wave is gonna be boot camping in Europe for like 2 months.
Genuinely, me and Jack spoke about it. We're like, we can't wait to get back to Europe for Berlin. You know, we're gonna get there a week before wildcard, just so we can play EU ranked and play EU teams, so we can get back into that play style.
Actually insane.
That's actually a good idea. That's actually a good idea for pros. They're like, if they got the cash and the org wants to, just move out to London for the summer. Move out to London for the summer and grind. Get a different perspective. Just see the world a little bit. Change up the lifestyle. It might be good. It might be good for people.
Good luck getting half the pros to do that.
Well, listen, I wasn't talking about happening.
It's not happening. I'll say it right here. Don't get your hopes up. Not happening. Not happening.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not saying because of me. I'm saying I'd love to go on a little London trip, you know, but, you know, many people in the scene would not. Yep. Many people don't have more than like, you know, a 9 to 5 hours in the game, if that makes sense. So that'd be surprising if people did that.
Yeah. Is it by choice?
It would make everyone better, for sure.
100% by choice.
See, that's what frustrates me, though. Is like, I don't know. I feel like it's going to take that extra team to make that extra step to really kind of make that difference in NA as a region. But why not just, you know, somebody set up a camp, get all the teams out, have I don't know the right word for it, but just like have everybody all in one spot, lock in for a couple weeks, take what you learn, and then you can all improve and get back there. I don't understand why people don't want to take that extra step to just get better.
Like what's the thing in basketball where they have like it's like a bunch of like rookies coming in, like the combine or something?
That's NFL, but yeah.
Oh, is it? I thought
they got the NBA as well. The NBA
Summer League,
combine, don't they?
Yeah, like
They
a
have a
like a
summer
summer
league,
league. Yeah, I think something like that would be sick. Like back in the day when they used to be like gold rushes or like beyond the summits. I thought those were sick.
See.
Oh, I miss those events so much. Yeah,
Yeah.
those were sick.
I don't know. Just give me a couple sponsors. I'll set up a camp.
Yeah,
You always ask for sponsors. This dude always asks for sponsors, bro.
money
That's
wins.
right.
Money wins the world, man.
Because I'm not rich. So I need sponsors. Hell.
That's right. Well, yeah. Yeah.
So, I think we're all kind of in the same place, though, in terms of EU being more successful at developing talent, and we all kind of have like our own ideas as to why as well. So, it is one of those things where maybe things can change over in the future for NA, but you can kind of you just see it in the play. You see it in the play, even when it comes down to things like CRL. You're able to see it just in a manner of gameplay. Speaking of teams though that have good gameplay, let's talk about Vitality real quick. Will Vitality complete the spring split sweep? No EU team has ever gone 3 for 3 in a split. We had a note here from Chris. Shout out Chris. NA and OCA have also never had a team go 3 for 3 in a split. That's definitely a good note. Let's take a look at the EU round 1 matchups because we do have the EU round 1 matchups. Congratulations. Thanks for tuning in to First Touch. You get a little extra sneak peek. We'll look at the bracket a little bit later today. Noli, want to start with you though. Just for the general question, do you think Vitality is going to complete that spring split sweep?
I hope not. Just because like it kind of pains me to see another team breaking records that I want to break. So there's like the competitive me doesn't want them to, but just watching them play, like I can't not say they're gonna win. The way they connect with each other on the field, it's sort of like I don't want to say it, but like the honeymooning, you know, like all three of them are on the same page at all times, and that happens eventually. You know, that might stop, which is a normal thing for Rocket League. But either them or KC, like I can't really see anyone else.
What do you think, Garrett?
They definitely can. I mean, I think it's a safe prediction for who's going to win Regional 3 for sure. Like Noli said, I don't know a lot about certain other esports, but the honeymoon period is so strong in this game that I think it's very possible. They're boot camping for every LAN. Like, unless they're just completely sleeping right now, I feel like they'll win again.
I think it's just so hard. But it's been almost close. G2 almost did it last year. Yeah, G2 was actually in Game 7 and they lost. Yeah, they almost did it. BDS also went to Game 7 that year, and they lost. And Carmine, what happened to them? They almost did last, and then they lost to Liquid. And what was it, Game 6?
Yep.
What was that with Game 7? Yeah, and then so the last three teams that almost did it.
Yeah, it was 7.
Yeah, that was that's close. It's close.
I think
You know what none of those teams had? They didn't have the Prodigy.
They didn't
They
have
didn't have Zen. Zen came in. This kid, I don't understand, man. There was so many doubters. This kid came in. He started
There was no
dominating.
doubters.
I think, huh?
There were no doubters. Don't make a false narrative. No
Okay, stop. We're not gonna act like they weren't doubters.
Who was
There was
doubting
definitely doubters. There was people that were like, okay, he's
I blame
doing
Johnny
all this
Boy.
in ones, but can he translate it to threes?
It's
He
Johnny
goes
Boy's
to
fault.
threes. He's actually translating it in threes. And what Garrett said earlier is he's not being a selfish player. He's actually working around his team. And I just you looking at this roster, Radosin's one of the most improved players in that region now, and you got alongside Alpha and Zen.
For that,
I think this is the team that's gonna do it.
For that reason, like Zen has exceeded expectations. You know, like everyone knows he can cook. You know, everyone knows he can be an individual star player. But the fact that he can come into a team brand new and make both of his teammates comfortable and better, like, you know, at 16 years old as well, it's so crazy. I know if I had all that hype when I was 16, I'd be talking shit.
I'd be going for everything.
I'd be going. My fault.
I'm not sitting back.
No, that's
First
fine.
regional.
I'm sorry.
What happened? We move on. We move on.
Okay,
we move on. Keep going.
Yeah, I'd be going for everything. You know,
Sorry, Nolan.
no, I'm not invited back anymore. That's all right.
No. It's okay. It happens. Damar said much worse on streams with streams with more viewers.
Why does this always come back to me?
Because I just want to make No Leave know he's okay.
Yeah,
Anyways,
don't worry, Noli. I'll pay your fine.
Anyway.
He's a fan.
No. We gotta stop. We scared this dude, man.
I'm gonna have to stream afterwards and pull a raffles. Let's move on from that.
All right.
I think I know he's making a good point. A lot of people, if they had Zen skill, then on top of that, didn't have the success that he's had, they would be doing a lot. They would be doing not. So the fact that maybe Zen is doing a lot behind the scenes, but who cares about that? We do care about what's in front of us, and he's not talking trash to nobody. He's just balling out, performing. He had the one little slip up when he played against Rawaz and when he lost his win streak, and then after that, he apologized after that, like immediately afterwards. Zen's good. Zen's good. He's great. I think it's tough though. I think it's really tough. I think they're the best team for the situation though. I just think Carmine might beat him. Yeah, I'm seeing Carmine beating him. I don't know. I don't know. I think they could do it. Nah, I'm not gonna say. I'm saying they're not gonna do it though. I think Carmine's gonna win this one.
You think Carmine's gonna win?
Yeah.
Hopefully you don't go disappearing. I think okay. If he would have been there in the upper finals, I think Carmine would have won last regional. But you know the fact that they had to take 2 series off.
Are you still hating on Vati?
Huh? No, it's not hate, bro. It's just criticism, okay?
Yeah.
That's all it is.
It's criticism that doesn't make any sense though.
How does it not make sense?
I think it does. It's not like he's saying Vatira's a bad player. Like I understand what he meant. Like he just said Vatira didn't perform as he should against Vitality, which isn't like entirely wrong. Like Vatira's still one of the best players, if not the best player in the world.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's terrible now.
But just from what he can see, you know, like that's him making that observation, yeah.
Yeah, I guess. I've never seen Vatira be invincible in a series.
This was specifically in the upper finals. Just for additional
finals.
context.
Upper
Not
finals.
the grand
All right,
finals.
the whole entire team was off then. How about that one? How about that one?
Not Itachi. Don't say that. Not Itachi.
No. Itachi's never off.
Honeymoon
Itachi
versus
was
third
there.
split team. That's my opinion. That's fine.
Honeymoon?
Wait, with Vitality?
Yeah, like I'm saying, one team's honeymoon and one's on their third split after, dominating. So I think it doesn't even matter until they get the land anyway. So
So they both making the finals anyways.
I think they are. BDS might make the finals.
Yeah,
Not BDS and Liquid can make the final.
Yeah, BDS and Liquid.
Yeah.
Liquid got a bounce, but Liquid's so inconsistent. Actually, crazy. They'd be peaking, they'll be top 2, and then they'll just
yeah.
I mean,
Liquid.
They have a peaky playstyle. I think very like I don't know. It looks like it'd be like impossible to beat if they were on. But
and they're on.
They're on.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I say.
Yeah, but their play requires them to be on.
I think
They should be the
BDS
best
made
team in the
like
world.
the perfect move. Because I could be wrong, but I remember when Seiko first joined back in spring, it felt like Extra was he was all of a sudden very like disruptive. Like he if you go and watch, he was doing like a lot of bump plays. He was doing a lot of what Rise is doing right now. Like a lot of, I feel like Rise is doing like so much bump work. I don't know if that's the word for it, but he's doing a lot of I don't know, space making for Seiko and Monkey. Like I think if Monkey Moon has people who make space for him, he's just the best player in the world. And I think that's why it's a good move for them. EU looks good. NA, oh no. That's what I feel like.
We're gonna talk about NA soon. We're gonna talk about NA soon. Garrett, we can't be hearing that. We can't be hearing it.
I'm just being honest. Like
Garrett, don't give him any more ammunition, Garrett.
Listen, last time I said this was last winter LAN, and NA did great. So maybe this is our best. We're not expecting to do well. You know?
Don't do it, Garrett.
Burrito, what is
There's just a lot of good things going on in Europe. That's all I'm saying. It's a bad timing.
Gosh.
Oh gosh.
All right. In terms of, for me, will Vitality complete the spring split sweep? I'm saying yes. They will. They got the Garrito honeymoon back in. Then they seem like they're only getting better and better every regional event. Meanwhile, the biggest competition, Karmine Corp, is spending more time yelling at Raul than practicing. So I'm going to go Vitality on this one. Maybe Liquid. Liquid might do it too, though. I love Liquid, so it'll probably be that in particular. But regardless, you know, there's a lot of top players. And funny enough, though, we were talking earlier about Zen, Ado, Vatira, and people have been talking about how those players have been kind of stepping up. And we go into this conversation of best player in the world. And we talk about best players in the world very often over the course of the season. I don't know how many conversations we've had about it. I feel like I've had at least 10 plus. Yeah. But how much does best player in the world change per season for you guys? Noli, what do you think?
I think it's like extremely like it changes so much, you know, because like split 1 it was Jack first killer, Vatira. Split 2, you know, it was Vatira Itachi. Split 3 it's Zen. Vatira as well. But like it's just whatever is in front of you, you know? Like last season, somebody could have been the best player for the whole season, you know? So I don't think it's something that is a set answer. It just depends on the competition happening at the moment.
You feel the same way, Garrett?
I hate this. Like, I can't stand the best player in the world thing because, like, it's always going to be someone on a team that's winning because it's such a team game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think
I don't agree with that.
I mean,
I feel like
what times was like the best player in the world on a team not doing well?
That didn't win? Like, take Genji, for example.
When?
I don't think... Like, when you guys won the major, I don't think people were saying that, like, someone on your team was definitively the best player in the world.
Jack.
I feel like Jack.
Jack. I don't think...
gassing Jack.
Jack was getting shouts for best player in the world. Him and Vatira. But obviously they got 8th and we got 1st, so that's why... I think Jack was the definitive best player in the world at that time. But
this is why I hate this.
That's fair.
Because
but it's because
I even saw Chronic. Well, no, this is another reason. Like I even saw like people saying Chronic, but then Noli is doing like playing insane at his role. Like I think if like Noli, like if you didn't play as well at that what you were doing, it wouldn't have happened. Obviously, I you know, it's a conversation is going to happen. It's just such a team based game. It's like when I watch like CS for example, you know, there's so many stats that are more important. Like that I feel like it's easier to say, but this game is just I feel like it changes per match almost, like who's the best player in the world. Like it's just such a, if you put the best player in the world on like a mid team, they're not going to be the best player in the world anymore, like in my opinion. Like they just won't. To be the best player in the world, you got to be in the finals doing it, you know, and that's, you got to have a solid team. So I don't know. I think it changes every regional almost though. So.
And I feel like it's also what you value as well, like as a person. Like if you're someone values, you know, flashy things or like someone who scores a bunch of goals, you'll say somebody else compared to someone who values like the core mechanics of the game.
Yeah. Imagine Zen wasn't doing one show matches. We didn't know anything about Zen. He shows up, they win the regional still. People wouldn't even mention him that much. I mean, they would because they won the regional, but they wouldn't, from like seeing him in these one show matches and like his potential skill, he's in the conversation. But if we were just talking about threes, no, because of what people value when they watch this game, they wouldn't even be considering him because of the role he's playing. That's why I don't like the conversation. So.
That's a valid point. That's a valid point.
That's why I said it's Johnny Boy's fault. It's because he was showing all these psychos, and then people expected that in threes. Hardest, you know, mode the scoring. Like it's not gonna happen.
I like that. I like that. It's Johnny's fault.
It's Johnny's fault. We all circle back to Johnny. Johnny always at fault here.
You can't keep letting him get away with this. He's been getting away with way too much. Bro, how do you feel?
I think there's always gonna be a conversation of like the top 3, top 5 that will always be like they'll pretty much always be the same top 5 players that will just interchange like when there will be like somebody who will be number 1 definitively. But I agree with Garrett. It's just like what you value more, and a lot of people value the mechanics side of it. If you see somebody hitting a flip reset or popping off, ceiling shot, whatever the case is, musty flip, like if they use any sort of mechanics, they have like extreme highlight play after highlight play, you're gonna value that. Or the casual audience or even esports audience, they're gonna value how exciting a player is playing as like they are a top player in the game. Like, it doesn't even matter. Like, Itachi, in T-Base's eyes, is a tap-in merchant, but the guy does not mess up in any series. Like, he doesn't mess up in any series, and he gets qualified as the tap-in merchant.
Listen,
Because he is. I guarantee you put T-Bates on that field in Itachi's shoes, T-Bates is not averaging more than a goal a game. And that's just the facts of the matters.
Listen,
First off.
Okay, go ahead.
Actually, Garrett, you go first. I'm gonna come back to that disrespect.
I was just gonna say that if one of us were playing as well as the tap-in merchant, we would have won all these game 5s. That's all I'm saying.
See,
so it's important for sure.
Wait, what did he say?
Scoring. I was saying
what?
if one of us was playing as well as the tap-in merchant, like in a lot of these game 5s we lost, we would have won because it's hard.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Yeah. I was giving him value. Go ahead. Sorry.
No.
Because you hate him. It's ridiculous. I don't understand.
No, he's a tap-in merchant because he's putting himself in position to tap the ball in, which a lot of players in Rocket League don't know how to do. Can you know why? They're back grabbing boost. He ain't grabbing boost. He's staying around with 20 boosts. So yes, he is a tap-in merchant. But that's not disrespectful though. He's doing what he's supposed to be doing. He's scoring the ball.
He's placing it. He's doing what a lot of players can't do. Even if we had players that were sitting there, I'm saying if you were perfectly positioned like Itachi, you're not scoring the goals he's scoring because he's placing them top right, top left. That's my point. Like, he is a fantastic shooter who doesn't get credit. He gets called a tap-in merchant for how consistently he puts the ball in the back of the net, regardless of how many defenders are sitting in the net. That kid always finds a way to put the ball in the back of the net.
Yeah,
but we value what Vatira brings because Vatira, outstanding defender, and he can open up space, and he flip reset, he's beating 2-3 in the air. But like if he has an off series, he's still considered the best in the world because of what he does when he's peaking, when he's playing to the level that we expect him to play at. Even if Itachi's more consistent overall, like if Itachi doesn't ever miss a series.
I get it, bro. You want to say Itachi's better than Vati? It's not happening. Never will happen. But I didn't say that. You want to though. You want to say it so bad. But like I said, Itachi, great player.
In my mouth. Go ahead.
He's one of the best. He's one of the best. He's a great player. People were just putting him like the top 4 and stuff. I don't know. See me. This is a bad question. I should have worded the question better. I should have said how much does the top 10 in the world change. That's what I should have said.
Okay, now you want to broaden it, so you don't want to specify anymore.
No, because I can see how the ones will change. Noli, apparently your mic is terrible. Anyways, supposedly, according to chat, it's good now. I can see how number 1 can change number 2, but to me, I think like top 10, I don't really think it changes that much. That's just the way I look at it.
You're right. You're right.
I think Gary makes a good point about it's a lot of results based, but then I think I differentiate from Garrett in that that to me like that's why I had Alpha still like top 10. I have him at 6. I mean, maybe I was a little high. I don't know. Depends on who you talk to. But the man's individual talent was most likely there, and he was playing with 2 people who weren't up to snuff, and now he has 2 people who are up to snuff, and look, he's winning now. And look, he's winning. So I think that matters in the grand scheme of things. That's why I wanted to ask him. Yeah, but I don't think it changes that much. I think it mainly stays the same for the most part all year. I think people earn it. But Itachi, back to Itachi. Itachi is a great player, and Raul keeps trying to act like I'm saying he's not.
Nah, I'm just calling him what you call him, a tap-in merchant. That's it.
I'm gonna stick with that too. I'm gonna stick with it. How do you win the major? What happened?
Just change merchant from to specialist. Do specialist.
Tap-in specialist. There you go. Tap-in specialist.
That sounds like a compliment.
Top right specialist. That's what you should call
tap-in specialist. Raul, you should remember how do you win the major? What do you do?
What do you do? He tap-in specialist, you know?
Yes, you sure did. Sure did. That's all I gotta say. It was poetry. I couldn't have drawn up any better.
Oh gosh. Okay. So I think I understand what you're talking about too. Top 10 in terms of a broader aspect, that's actually really interesting to think about. I don't know if top 10 really changes that much over the course of the season. Maybe if for
okay, sorry for cut you off. But for example, just because you brought it up. For example, people don't think Monkey Moon's good. at the moment. They just don't think he's like top 10. And I find it to be absolutely asinine. I'm not going to lie. I don't understand it. I don't understand. He has dominated RLCS for the past 2.5 years. And he didn't have a bad split. His team wasn't winning, but he didn't have a bad split. So like, and people are like, oh, nah, bro, he's nowhere near top 5. I don't even think I got my top 10 no more. I'm like, how is that possible? That's what I'm saying.
I feel like the reasoning is because he's not aesthetically pleasing. Like, he's not, like, it's not even like a bad thing. It's just, Jack, for example, he's a very, like, you know, he's got the bot Fennec playstyle. So whenever I've seen people be really harsh on Jack, like, he's not performing. It's just you know, like, sometimes it wasn't as insane. But I think the aesthetically pleasing thing, especially for a casual viewer, you know, that puts a big part into it. I mean, how is a low level player going to understand what delaying does for the team? You know, like what Zen did was so hard. But yeah, Monkey Moon is a very, like, it looks insane when he's winning, but it's hard to understand what he's providing when they're not, because it's just not aesthetically crazy, I guess. I mean, in my opinion at least, but I think that the harder he has mastered the harder part to understand
of the game. Exactly.
Yeah. So
I also think people like criticize him for quote unquote stat padding, but he's like always in the play, and I only think pros kind of feel that presence that he has on the field, which is why pros regard him so highly. But as a viewer, you can't really see the impact he's having on the field. You can see the stats, and then people criticize that he's stat padding.
It won't. They epic save. That's what they do. Yep.
Uh-oh.
Nolan muted again. No.
Wait, he was muted again?
Well, while he figures that out, I was going to say, the first time we scrimmed BDS, we were like, what is this guy on? Like, we were like, is it because he's on 4 cents? Like, what is going on? Like, it didn't matter what we did. That guy was there. It was the hardest. And honestly, the most unique player I had played at that point was Monkey Moon. That he's got a different read on the game. But I think he does require, if you want to make, like, if I were to build like the best team in the world, I would put players who are very aggressive alongside him. I don't think, if you want to criticize him at all, it's not even that big of a negative. He's not a big create for other people. He's like the best person to be cleaning up the play. If I were to build a team, like, I would want him behind the guys like, you know, Itachi or something, because I feel like if you give him the space, he's going to do the best option, like the most with it. So, yeah.
I heard you.
Heard that. Just so you guys who did hear at home, Noli said that no one was stat padding. No one stat pads in Europe.
Yeah.
just so we have that one cleared up. But I don't know, definitely some stat padding on the other side of things. North America's getting a little chaotic. Let's talk about that as well. Chaos in North America. What's been going on in NA? If a major was today, GG both. This is not right. G-Rect actually corrected that earlier, saying that Gingy would play in a tiebreaker with FaZe, so they wouldn't miss a major if it was today. That being said,
they still could miss it.
Nah.
Yeah. No. Around the corner.
I walk in the room.
Flight.
Batista bomb.
What? Watch out!
Watch out, RK.
But yeah, it's a tough race right now. So far, 2 teams tied for first place. Complexity and V1 at 34 points. SSG has 33. Optic has 31. FaZe Gigi have 30. Fury has 26. G2 has 24. NRG has 23. Rebellion has 22. And then the drop off is 3 teams at 14 with Dignitas, Koi, M80, and Sup at 13. We'll talk about more clinch scenarios next week. Obviously, I'll pull up the big board and we could go through it. But looking at situations right now, Raul, let's mix it up a bit. Man, what's going on, man? What's going on in North America, man?
Wait, before we do that tomorrow, I got to ask Garrett something.
Okay.
All right.
Garrett, man, how did it feel to do well? How did it feel to do well in the last regional, man? Talk to us, man.
You want to be honest, man? I was looking up. Do I need to take the SAT to go to college? I'm not gonna lie. Right before that reason, I was looking that up. I was like, maybe I should start, focusing on the education. I'm half joking. I'm half serious too, though. I was
I've been there.
It was very validating because it's not like the the motivation has changed. It's just that the results weren't coming, and it was starting to get, even if it's one top 4, it still meant a lot for me. And I think it meant a lot for Justin and Squishy as well. So yeah, it feels great. It feels like, I don't have to be done. It was starting to feel. I was starting to listen to the comments a little too much. So.
Oh no.
Good. I just, you see so many. It's like, I don't know. You see it enough times, it starts to become the truth. You know what I mean? So. Yeah.
Disconnect from socials, Garrett.
I do, man. I want to stream.
He does
like,
disconnect.
I ain't gonna lie.
I haven't been on Reddit in a year and 3 months. I remember the month
I might need to follow that Reddit trend.
Yeah,
it's just not working.
Definitely the no Reddit on that one. But yeah, I can understand Garrett's like, yeah.
It comes with a lot of people who support us as well. It's always hard to ignore the negative, so. Yeah,
Stay away from the school as long as you can.
I'm still in it. Don't worry. I just, I had some free time. I started to do some backup planage. You know what I mean? So that's it.
That's what's up, man. That was pretty hype having y'all. So I had to ask about that. That's cool.
But yeah, let's talk about more NA stuff. Let's kind of shift back into that role. We were gonna start with you. What do you feel about the current situation?
I just think the first regional, there was we definitely slacked off. I'll just speak for my team specifically. We slacked off, so there's been a shift on, I guess, North America's top teams, and now it's kind of made everything close. And then in the second regional, there was the 2 teams that performed really well in the first. I guess I can't even attest to that, but they didn't perform as well as before. So now everything's kind of up for grabs, and we don't really know what's going on in terms of the next one, since there's been we've had 4 weeks off, something. So some teams have been scrimming more than others, and I know that for personally my team, we've been scrimming a lot lately. So we're prepared going into next split, since this is extremely important. This next regional is going to be everything for a lot of teams. I think anybody can make it.
Yeah,
Just got an update from D-Rag real quick. NA is so close that for the first time ever, the number 10 team in NA can mathematically still be the number 1 seed for North America at the major. Go ahead, Noli. What were you going to say?
What was I going to say? I don't know. Never mind.
Okay. All right. To be just to be clear right now, number 10 team is Shopify Rebellion, who are sitting at 22 points. NRG's at number 9th. Garrett, how do you feel about everything going on? Obviously, you guys had your good result and you guys are in the running for the major, but there's a lot of competition top down.
Yeah, for me, honestly, I didn't feel like anything changed. I just think that we won some game 5s. I mean, if you go back to last split, we played G2 close in the first regional. Second regional, we're up 2-0 Space Station, reverse swept. Third regional, I had a really bad series, especially, but game 5, V1, loss, reverse swept by Complexity right after that. Play phase. It really just felt like we had more
slack off a little bit, but just trying to get them on the game, practicing as a team as much as possible, so that when we go into this next regional, we're not just out of practice with each other. So yeah, I think I've been doing the best to keep them on schedule. So looking forward for this next split.
And of course, Garrett, you were kind of in between of that, just starting to kind of ramp up here a little bit. You said nothing's changed, but especially from, this is not your first time going through extended breaks like this. How did you and the team handle it?
I mean, I usually really hate breaks, but I got super sick after the regional, so it actually worked out for me pretty well. But I actually think it helps us a lot, even though this is our best result, just because we can have a few weeks where we're in a good mood. All of our scrims have been super positive and stuff like that, and I think it's because of the result. So I don't mind it. And like I said, it worked out because I was sick for like 2 weeks, like a week and a half. So I definitely don't mind the break. And it's not that long. It's just like what ends up being 4 weeks, I guess, like a month. So
Yeah.
I mean, I was used to six, like it felt like a 6 month off season at times. So this feels like nothing to me.
Feels like nothing.
I see.
How do you feel about all that base?
I mean, I don't know. I'm not a part of these dudes' comms or anything like that. Comms, scrims, whatever. I don't know how they wake up, prepare themselves. I hope that all of them did prepare themselves for being professionals. Raul should have said 3 minimum. Three minimum scrims. 2 is a little bit too light in my opinion. Need to be 3. I don't know. I'm a hardcore grinder. You get paid too much. I can get 3 hours of your day. Thank you, sir. That's just what I would be saying. But then again, I look at it a little bit differently. I don't know. You gotta want it. But I want to say, because there's been a lot of chaos, and I do think there's a lot of chances for a lot of, I don't know who's making the major. I've been thinking about it a lot. I've been thinking about it a lot. I have no clue. Is every team just get that much better? Like Garrett, I love the way you were chasing. I love the way you're chasing, my brother. I don't know if you could do that again. I don't know what the strategy is, but I love that. It looked good.
Yeah, it felt like RLCS X, actually. It felt like exactly like
RLCS?
that was exactly what we did. Just a lot changed, I guess, in between them, but
I see.
yeah, I was chasing a bit. I was not thinking. I'm not gonna lie. I was just putting my head down and getting in there, and then trying to build some space for Justin because that's really what he's the best at, So we'll see.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be interesting. I think it's just sad. It's sad NA only has 5 spots. It's tough. That is how the cookie crumbles. I mean, Mean only has 1 spot, so we can't really complain. But yeah, it's tough. It's tough. I think a lot of good teams in NA are good right now. I think the break is gonna make it to where next weekend we're gonna see a lot of peak Rocket League. People are gonna be fresh, and it's gonna be good action.
You guys know that only 2 NA teams have won regionals this year? Like
No, 3.
no, like North
3.
American. Who's the third?
Wait.
It's V1 and FaZe.
And us.
V1 Fate.
Well, like North American, like
wait,
North
wait,
American.
wait,
two
wait,
thirds.
wait.
He said he in there now.
North America.
Yeah, no, he's right with that. He's right with that.
We'll include Gen Z then.
Yeah,
All
I'm
right,
a
three
proud
NA
American.
teams.
No, man. I've been here long enough. I think I deserve that title
All right,
of
yeah,
American.
we'll do that. We'll consider that then.
Damn, we're gonna need to give him an American quiz. How many states are there? Garrett will
Listen,
tell you.
I don't think I'd pass it, so I don't think that counts.
How many states are there? No
I
league?
actually googled it recently. It was 52.
Wait,
Yeah,
what?
I think there's 2 extra states that like are states but aren't.
No.
That are
Don't
outside
No,
the US.
just-
No.
Don't do it to yourself.
Oh,
Nolan.
don't do that. Just say 50.
Don't
Leave
do
it
it.
at that.
There's
man.
2 territories.
Look, that man under me's been through
2
that way too much,
territories.
man. He's still trying to let that down.
Listen, I've seen some headlines where they might add like Puerto Rico every now and then. I can't wait for that tweet. I'm going in. I was right. I can't wait. I hope that happens one day just for that.
Garrett be in the court hearings and everything. Like, all right, let's see what we got going on. I'll let you dream, Garrett. Speaking of dream, let's go to our next segment, Dreaming of Rocket League. What is in addition to Rocket League that you would like? I feel like we have this. I feel like I definitely hear this happen every once in a while. Bigger map, different rank rewards, etc. I want to start here because this is something that's been on my mind for a very long time, and I don't think it's that hard to implement. If we're gonna have theme seasons, can the rewards for the season match the theme of the season? That's all I'm asking for. If we had, if we're going with the whole Lotus Flower, give me some Lotus Flower boost or something for the season in reward or something like that. I feel like that would be kind of cool to just have everything themed. I'm not asking for too much. It's just some little thing there make me really want to grind to kind of hit SSL and things like that because I want to get all those rewards. That's little though. I'm sure everybody else has much larger things.
Oh, I scored a drop.
Nice, congratulations. Go ahead, Noli.
I think with Rocket League, right? Like people like constantly go at Rocket League for not being like easy enough to make content out of to elevate the game. But I also believe that that comes down to the players and content creators themselves as well. Like, I feel like the players and content creators can do so much more to make the game seem like it's so much more as well, with new innovative ideas. Because most of the time, the content that does come out is just like regular 2v2 gameplay, which is the same thing as everyone else is doing, which I'm also at fault for as well. But I think if more people are innovative, I think that could help the scene so much more too. So I think Rocket League's fine as it is, with maybe a few tweaks here and there, but it's not as dire as people make it out to be.
That's interesting. I definitely want to hear what Garrett says, because Garrett, you play a whole bunch of extra maps. I've been seeing, those NRG YouTube videos. You guys just go and do a bunch of crazy stuff. But in terms of the game, what's an addition to Rocket League that you would like, if you think there even needs to be one?
I mean, game like core mechanic and gameplay wise, no, but I do wish like doing workshop maps was easier, because doing them through the energy content videos, they are a lot of fun. They're just a nightmare to set up. I've been told it's not really possible, like how the game works. Like, it'd be really hard to implement it. Hopefully we get some leaks or something, going on. But for me, I think that I wish there was something more at the top level of ranked. Just because personally, and maybe this isn't even a large majority of people, but like when I go and watch another esport, and I'm watching a pro player and they're like super into whatever queue they're doing, I don't want to be super specific because a lot of different games. It makes me really into the game, and it makes me want to like try to reach that level, even if I'll never get there. But that's just such a small percentage of the top players. I don't know if it ever realistically happened, and I don't know what they would do. So that's the problem with making ranked more than just listening to music and not talking. It gets a little. I'm sure it gets a little old for people to watch, but that's really all I do when I play the game besides scrim, though. So I feel like there needs to be something added. I think, like for example, I think the biggest thing missing from Rocket League content, for me personally, is like, say you go watch, Valorant or CS. It's the communication with other people. But I don't think that would happen unless there was like some premier competitive threes mode where you're motivated to talk because you really want to win. Because right now ranked is kind of just it feels kind of casual compared to some other games. But yeah, that's for me. It makes it really, if you go in and really pay attention to these content creators that have 4 other people talking in the lobby, the content kind of creates itself. They're just kind of there. And I think that would make it a lot easier for people. But with the way the game works with 1s, 2s, and 3s, I think it's kind of, they'd have to add something new to kind of create that. And I don't know if they really necessarily want to, because that comes with a lot of toxicity. But yeah, that's all I can think of.
I think that, just to branch off of what Garrett says, I think that's a really good idea to implement. It's like 3s is the premier game mode for Rocket League. So, and I know a lot of top players don't even touch the game mode anymore.
Yeah.
So something to implement that I would like to see is something to do with the 3s game mode. Maybe like hey, bring back solo standard, but actually have it where maybe communication is required, and maybe the top 100 is like get some sort of reward for being top 100. It's like all 3 of those just like put it on top of each other, I think would create a lot more content, especially at the top of the scene. Like, you'd have just random lobbies of pro players, and you'd be forced to communicate with each other just in the game. That would integrate like everything that I think you see in other esports as well. And maybe we always talk about different maps, but I think that
then times will fail. Like, it's no one, and no one wants to wager their own money. Like, I always see people say like, why don't you guys do wagers? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't really want to. I don't know. I don't want to PayPal somebody. Like, it's just kind of annoying. So that'd be awesome. I think I still owe JNaps $5, to be honest, actually, from a few years ago. But
those money 6-mans, man.
Those money 6s, man, they'll do it to you. Man, yeah, I think that would be my number one. You gotta incentivize people to play at the top. You gotta give them that. You just gotta put dreams in them. Put some stars in their eyes. That's what attracted, I think, a lot of people play Rocket League. The attraction of being one to be Grand Champ. Now I just want to be SSL. But then even after you hit SSL, then what's after that? Becoming pro? but that's so far away. So you gotta have something else in between to get people to grind, and then even get the pros to actually play ranked as well. And that'll work by itself. I think also, see me, I'm a little different. I'm always asking for something, and what I want to see is I want to see a map that is a car length wider on both sides, and they could put that in the ranked, make it 3v3 only, and I want to see people play it. And I want it to be incentivized to do with the. I want it to be incentivized like we have top 100 or whatever. That's what I want to see. I want to see what it looks like. I want to see what it looks like. Maybe you make it like 125 boost or something. Give people 125 boost. I don't know. I feel like the game.
That's a pretty subtle change.
Huh?
I feel like that'd be pretty subtle, like just a car length wider. I mean,
Car length wider both sides.
Yeah. I think it'd be not like
a
huge change. Sorry, I interrupted you, but it's interesting. But sorry, I was just saying it's kind of subtle. Like I feel like it's just such a small change, really, when you add it together. I mean, would it be that much wider? I'm trying to think.
Well, if you have I'm thinking dominance. A dominance wider both sides is pretty big, ain't it? Or maybe octane wider. I'm thinking because you know how, see me, I'm an offensive guy. And maybe y'all disagree. I'm an offensive guy. I just think defense is significantly easier than offense at the moment. At least like as long as you're challenging, especially in 3v3. Maybe in 2s and definitely in 1s. 1s is a different game mode. But in 3s, rotation, everything. You got to be so precise with offense to be that great. Especially with the counterattacks, the ability to hit the ball all the way down the field immediately. You could push up with 2, 3. They can clear it. Then you got backup. That's why people don't that's why people are kind of scared. I think the game doesn't really incentivize people to play too much offense. But the point I'm making is, even when you got a lot of pressure, and you're getting demo. So I want to see what would happen if the map was just that much bigger. What would really happen where, like, if you're really creating that much pressure, people aren't going to want to, they're not going to have time to go get that boost, because if they do it, that extra second half that it takes to get back, it's going to end up costing them. I think that would change it up a little bit. I think it'd make it to where offense is more desirable. That's just me, though. That's why I just want to see, like, those little subtle changes, because, I mean, the game wasn't made for esports, and I don't think the developers ever expected people to get this good, and so naturally I think things need to evolve. And I got into Rocket League because I got into Rocket League watching Devo and the likes double touch all the time, and then I watch Cloud9 have all the passing plays, all the infield passing plays especially, and Justin air dribbling and everything else in between. And I feel like it's cool to see Zen have like those moments in the 1s, but you're not going to see them. They're so rare in 3s, in my opinion. I just like watching offense. So whoever helps offense, I thought that would be a good idea. What's thoughts? Am I tripping?
I would. My only concern is, like, what if it backfired, and because it takes so long to rotate back, everyone ends up being safer. Like, it's easier to overcommit. So then, like,
right.
What if I'm just theorizing? Like, if it's easier to overcommit, would it create like a more passive meta? You know what I mean? Because there's more feel. Like defense is so hard because, or sorry. You said defense is easier, but in my opinion, it's so hard because it's so easy to get bumped. Yeah, because I think the bump. I think nowadays, like, if you're stuck on defense, it's pretty, like, it makes it difficult, because of the bumps, and you get starved so fast. But if there's a bigger map, there's more space. It might make defense easier, and then people would be less inclined to over. They're going to be more afraid to overcommit, because nowadays, I think people are so offensive because you can recover quickly, and you can rotate back quicker. So
they do recover fast nowadays.
So
they do that. I
think it could go either way. Like, it would give people more space to be more, more offensive, or they'd be afraid of overcommitting because you're landing so much longer. Like that wall is so much further away to wall dash off of and stuff. But we always used to talk about we'd be interested to see 4v4 on a bigger map, just because we think that'd be interesting.
I've always been interested in 4s. I think 4s is Rocket League's prime.
Imagine how much that would shake up everything. Like,
it would change everything. I would love the game so much. I think 4s is just the evolution. It's never gonna happen though.
Nah, probably not.
Wait, didn't Lethamir have a video on
Yeah,
that?
but that map was garbage though. It was too big. It was too. He made it significantly too big. Like it's substantially bigger. It wasn't even. It was just massive.
It's not like a crazy change, but what about different styles? Not different styles of like the ball, but like different decals of the ball. You know?
Like just aesthetically.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm surprised
Well,
they've
what-
never done that. Really
I feel
change
like-
the theme of the ball, but I don't know.
I mean, people
then
Bakis might like different ball textures, don't they?
Yeah,
Oh, do they?
I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen people do it here and there. I thought people didn't do it because then they would get like bad first touches off of it.
It's all about
Really?
the placebos.
That's
Placebos, yeah.
Yeah.
What
That's-
is that?
that's literally
Sorry.
it.
What is
Or,
that?
or even like
screenshot?
take away like the goal explosion, like you know when you score and the ball just like explodes and like that's it. Like what about changing it with like a real time net? You know, like in football, well, soccer, like when the ball goes into net, like you know, like the physics of the net, the way it shakes and stuff like that. Like at that.
I feel like from a design aspect, that'd be kind of cool. And I can see that in like certain maps. They already do stuff like in Champions Field where if a team scores, they have like the jets fly over. People don't really pay attention to that stuff though. But
Imagine the goal net was a goal explosion. I'd buy that. Like it just changed
Yeah,
the whole
honestly,
way.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
I'd buy
we should capitalize on this.
that.
Sign an NDA.
they said they're gonna sign. They're gonna make a business move. I like it. I like it. Well, regardless of things that change in different maps, one thing is always consistent. There's usually a rule one. This time, no. This rule one clinched Boston, and we went on this show last week, and I'm not gonna really talk about what a lot of people say. I just know I didn't switch. Rule one ended up making the Boston major. Very happy for them, by the way. And we are going to talk about the fashion in which they did it, because they did do it, and I would say quite the performance as well. It was a three-way race to see which team was going to make the spring major between Falcons, Rule One, and Twisted Minds. And I would say the toughest competition for Rule One was Twisted Minds. They ended up going 7 games in the upper bracket semifinals. Falcons had a sweep on GK Esports in their upper final, but then in the upper bracket final, Falcons lost to Rule One in a sweep. There were 2 1-goal games, then the rest were 2-goal leads for Rule One to close out the series. Falcons then went to the lower bracket and lost against Twisted Minds in a 7-game series where it was a lot of back and forth results, timeouts being taken, all the likes. And then Twisted Minds then moved on to the grand finals. Now, when the Twisted Minds was in the grand finals, they would have had to beat Rule One in 3 best-of-7 series. There was the first grand final series. There was the bracket reset series. If they won that, then they would have went into a tiebreaker best-of-7. Rule One didn't do that. Instead of 3 best-of-7s, they had 3 overtimes in the first 3 games. After that, Rule One put the series on match point. Twisted Minds took a timeout. It did not matter. They went to Deadeye Canyon, and you can see the score right there, 5-0. So Rule One clinching Boston. I mean, we're used to Falcons, Noli, but this time we get Rule One.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've beaten Falcons at every event I've played. So that'll be a switch up. Don't have to go at them anymore. But I do have high hopes for Rule One. I think they're going to come in with that unknown factor and get a top 3.
Top 3.
Yeah, even maybe a top 2.
Top 2. Gary, you feel the same way about Rule One? What is this result for you?
I think they could, and I think Noli has a good point. Like they don't really have, I don't want to say the baggage, but like the bad results to mental block to get over. Like they'll just be excited, and every win will feel amazing for them. Because I think the only downside with experience is like sometimes you kind of expect to win the first round or like the second round, and they'll probably just be excited, like hyped to be there and excited to play, and that's always the best mental boost.
Rule One also clinched Worlds according to D-Right. Interesting note that if Mina secures a main event spot, Rule One will be the number 1 seed for Mina, not Falcons. Raul, what are you thinking?
I predicted Falcons and they flopped. Rule One seemed to cut their wings off, and then they couldn't soar anymore. But I also did say that if Rule One did make it, they'd have the best potential to kind of make it further than anybody else in MENA has ever done. Well, Falcons is the only other team, but I think they have the potential to make it further in an international tournament
you
than
mean
Falcons
win?
has. So, what happened? Yeah.
Get to the grand finals.
I think Rule 1 could do it.
Let's see.
The surprise factor and their potential alone as individual players and as a team.
I think it's gonna be tough. I'm very happy for the boys. I do think they got a little surprise factor. I think that's gonna matter. They could get top 8. They could probably get top 4. I don't know. It depends on the bracket. But
All right,
it's
let's
pretty
shift that
impressive that they
topic.
won. It's pretty impressive that they won.
Let's shift that. Let's shift into that then, because you guys are talking about it up top. I think Base is saying top 8.
They
Ro-
said the expectations were the top 8.
Oh, what is their expectations then?
I don't know. It depends on the bracket. Everything
Oh
depends on
my
the bracket.
goodness.
That's crazy.
Bates doesn't know.
I don't.
Bates, give
Everything.
him an expectation, man. What is your expectation for Rule 1? Bracket, like, don't. Whatever. That's
Look
whatever.
at the subtext. MENA hasn't finished higher than 9th through 12th since Worlds. It's only been one MENA team that's going to these majors. It's not like we got 2-3 different teams. It's been Falcons every time. I feel like the expectation should be at least higher than 9th through 12th.
Do we know what seed they play first? Like what?
We don't know who they
region?
play.
The seed? Let's see.
I'm looking at it right now. Let's see.
The expectations changes based off of who they play. It's not like groups, and it's
They
not
play
like
Sam 1.
Sam 1,
And then they played the winner of EU2 and NA5.
EU2, and
He's
NA5.
see, the expectations change when you say EU2. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it does a little bit.
I'm not gonna lie. It changes a lot.
I don't think so. There's still a lower bracket, you know. It's not like teams can't be caught off guard. I definitely think Rule 1 could beat an EU2 team.
They could.
I think they could too, but double limb changes things for me because it's like there's only so many chances. So, I think they'll beat Sam 1, and then I'm not sure after that. But
Yeah, I think they beat Sam 1, but then you go up against a Carmine or a Vitality.
yeah. The reason I was saying that too is like if they had like a crazy hard first round for some reason, I think that would
Yeah, the
change
expectations
things just
completely
'cause-
change.
Yeah, because I think when you lose your first match, first lane ever, double limb, that can maybe mess with them a little bit. But it's hard to tell how teams react. Maybe they would, make a lower bracket run because they would have no pressure anymore. It's just, it really depends how they're thinking about it, to be honest.
To answer your question, DeMar, I would say I would expect them. I don't know where they're gonna finish. I really think the double elimination is just really hard. But you could, but my expectation for them is to genuinely be competitive with basically even the best of the best. Like even if they lose to Carmine and Vitality, I expect that to go 6 or 7. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I expect them to go like 6 or 7. I do. And I think that's a little different than Falcons, 'cause I think a lot of people could say Falcons, well, they're just going to get steamrolled anyways. Nah, I expect this Rule 1 team to be able to perform and maybe get a top 8, and then everybody has upside. If you can get top 8, you can win the whole tournament, in my opinion. This depends on what's happening.
It's true.
So yeah, that's my expectation, B.
Okay.
I also think Rule 1 making major is good for Falcons, to give them that drive again. Because Falcons have been at the top of MENA for so long, where they've had no real competition, and now they realise they're not the big dogs anymore.
Yeah.
So they have to put back in that work and put back in the grind. So I think the fact that Rule 1 have made it, finally, is going to elevate that region even more.
Okay, just to add additional perspective, we have 3 teams that are confirmed for the major. Rule 1 Power, Ground Zero. So, let's say Rule 1 loses to EU2, and let's say Power plays NA1, Ground Zero plays NA3. Let's say both those teams drop out, they play each other in the lower bracket, and the winner plays Rule 1. Winner goes to top 8. So, I'm expecting the top 8 from Rule 1.
You said, say that again.
Okay. Rule 1, if they lose to EU2, will play the winner of, and this is projected, or my projections, Power versus Ground Zero, unless Power pull off an upset or
Power and Ground Zero play each other for real?
Yeah, because if they both drop to the lower bracket, they both play each other.
So
If this bracket is matching all the other double elim brackets, because all I did was just pull up a double elim bracket from the regionals and put it next to it. So if
see.
I'm reading this right, then yes, they should be playing. They should play each other, and then the winner of that will play Rule 1 to go to.
Okay, well
lower
then,
round
yeah, I
3.
would expect the top 8. Top 8, and it's all
Yep.
based on bracket. Now, if they ended up playing, I don't know, whoever NA team makes it. Which NA team's already qualified?
None.
None.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm just going off the
no.
Liquipedia.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, yeah. Top 8 then.
All right. So speaking of top 8, let's talk about OCE because we're already talking about them anyways. Will OCE finally break into the top 8? KCP misses first
No,
land
going
since
off
fall
that bracket.
21-22. Oh,
Next question. Next question. No, it's not that bracket.
No,
It ain't
nothing to
happening.
talk about here.
It ain't have nothing to talk about. We just looked over the bracket. We don't have to go to highlights. We don't have to go to highlights. You just went through all that. You just went through all that. It's time to move on to the next thing. Next segment.
Congratulations for making the major.
Also, I predicted both of these teams to make it. Remember last week? Yeah, I did that. Anyways, now it's
now
time to
you're
get to the
predicting them to leave first round. All
how
right.
do we skip the clips?
I don't know if we can. Oh wait, we can.
Good. I'm trying to eat some food.
I have a question. What is going on with if we know, why isn't Hunter playing? Was that like a roster move
I don't
or
know. No, it wasn't a roster move.
It
I
was
think
two
it was
regionals
just
in a row.
like
Personal stuff, maybe.
yeah, I think it's like personal stuff. I don't know.
Oh,
Like he
if
okay.
couldn't play on
Okay.
Sundays.
okay?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah,
I,
he's the
I
sub
just-
though. Or wait, Hunter was a sub. Wait, no, I don't
No,
think that's right. Chris.
Tango.
Tango
Yeah.
was
Tango
a
was
sub,
a sub.
and they
Yeah.
won with Tango, and then they played again. So I was like, did they keep him in because they won the regional with him? But I would assume
Right.
not. But I was just curious about that.
Yeah. Hunter has some IRL sports to play on Sunday due to the time change from OCE. That's what D-Rec just said. So, yes, Hunter is a starter. Just to be clear, just for
Hunter
clarification.
about to lose his spot.
Oh, well, hey,
Not showing up.
I'm not gonna talk about it. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to make any comments because I know.
Right, We will see. But let's go to Boston Bound because this is the part where all of us get to make a bracket. So let's make a bracket. EU Spring Invitational predictions. Who will qualify for the Spring Major? Bates. Let's get it
That's
going.
good, man.
Oh, K-Dop's back. Let's go. I didn't know. Oh, because it's invite. That makes sense. Okay, sorry. I saw Solar and I got excited. I love K-Dop.
He sounds like an old man. He's so happy that the old man made it in. The dude I looked up to, he's back in it. See,
He's
Garrett's
back.
a fan. Y'all, he's a fan of K-Dop.
I am always been a fan.
All right, yeah. So we basically how this works is we're gonna roll through the bracket here. We got 5 votes, and we're gonna make an FT bracket.
But K-Corp have struggled with Solar in the past.
Yeah, they had to reverse sweep him twice, right? I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
2 times in a row.
Uh-oh, no,
It's just
Solar
the,
is
it's,
not
it's,
the dub.
it's the
Yeah,
respect for their founding
But,
father.
yeah. Honestly, yeah, I think it probably is.
Yeah.
I agree.
They just love the old man who can't air roll. Anyways, PSG Tundra going up against Guild.
That's slander. That's okay. Go ahead.
Go PS Tundra.
I'm going Guild.
Nah, let's go PSG Tundra.
Who's on Guild?
Any bias in that pick?
Who's on Guild? I'm not
P.
aware.
Acro Gom.
Okay.
Oh, okay, that's a hard one. But I'm gonna go Tundra. I'm gonna go Tundra.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Tundra too. That's 4 for Tundra. They're gonna move down. They're gonna play K Corp. Team BDS going up against Williams Resolve.
All right.
BDS.
Yeah, just put him there.
Put him in there.
Yeah, BDS.
BDS, yes, indeed. Oxygen going up against Luna Galaxy.
Who
Who's
is
Lunar
that?
Galaxy?
Luna Galaxy is Matane Smokes Raziers.
Oh,
Oh,
That's
actually,
not bad.
That's not a bad team. Yeah.
Yeah. I might go Luna Galaxy.
I might go Galaxy. Yeah.
Uh huh.
All right, we go Luna Galaxy then. Throw them in there.
Alrighty, terrible pick by the panel, but it's okay. Team Vitality playing Monaco. Do we even need to say it?
Oh, is he also on dying on Monaco? Yeah, give me
I will
Vitality.
say it. Put Vitality in the second round.
Alrighty. G1 going up against Sub.
I'm going sub personally.
Need a roster check.
G1 recently just won the Rocket Baguette tournament though.
Oh, they did.
So, yeah.
Let me see who's in there.
Moist, and that's it.
A lot of top teams.
Sub
though.
was in there. I think Moist was in there. Moist, I don't think
G1.
Vitality played.
I would go G1.
Hogemo was in there. I'm gonna pick G1 over Sub.
Hogan mode.
G1. Alrighty. Team Liquid going up against Foo Fax Dop.
Liquid.
So that name
You
is
know,
funny.
Liquid.
Give me liquid.
Alrighty, Liquid. Liquid indeed. And then Moist Hogan mode. Give me Hogan mode, bro.
Hogan mode.
What?
Give me Hogan mode. They're making a
What?
run.
Give me moist.
This is moist.
Let's be realistic here.
What? No. Hogan mode.
Hogan mode.
What?
What?
We got 2 Hogan modes. Nola, you decide the vote.
I'm gonna go with
Hogan mode.
Moist.
Ah.
Thank God. Sanders.
No. I guess Moist moves on. It's fine. Bro, they'll make the lower bracket run, true. All right, we're back to the top. K-Corp, PSG Tundra.
K-Corp.
K-Corp.
All righty, very boring when Carmine Corp plays. BDS going up against Luna Galaxy.
This is gonna be boring from here on out, Bates.
Yeah,
I'm sorry to tell you.
BDS.
BS.
Team Vitality versus G1.
Give
Don't
me the
have to say
bees. Give
anything.
me the bees.
All right, the Bees win. Team Liquid versus Moist. Give me Moist.
Honestly, that's a
Ooh.
close. That could be a close matchup.
Yeah, that'd be close.
Moist
Are we
won the last
banking
time.
on Liquid? Yeah. Are we banking on Liquid peaking? Playing to.
If Liquid's on boot
It's a
camp,
third
they're
regional.
winning.
They always perform well in third regionals too.
All right, well, I pick
Anything on
Moist.
the line? I'm gonna go Liquid.
All right,
They
one
didn't- they
Liquid, one
didn't-
Moist.
They didn't boot camp last event, right? Liquid? If anyone knows. Because I feel
No,
like
I don't think they did.
they always do well when I see them in that Liquid facility. So if they're back there, it's Liquid. I'm going to go Liquid.
All righty, look,
Yeah.
we got 2 votes for Liquid. Noli?
Yeah, I'm gonna say Liquid
Oh,
too.
that's 3 votes for Liquid. Unfortunate. Moist, you're getting bounced. Oh, wow. Liquid, the upper semifinals. EU, so fun. K-Corp, Team BDS.
Oof.
Ooh.
What happened when BDS and K-Corp played last regional?
BD or K-Corp won.
I mean, K-Corp won, but...
It's 1-1 this split.
I'm gonna go BDS.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, BDS won. BDS
Roll
got
this
swept.
doing on purpose.
Alright.
It's on purpose. At this
What?
point.
It's on purpose.
you literally went afterwards.
No,
I thought that was
You know what? I'll go BDS too.
I'm gonna go BDS. I want to
okay.
believe in Monkey Man.
I was gonna go K-Corp, but okay.
Alrighty, BDS wins. Vitality going up against Team Liquid.
Vitality.
Ooh,
Give me
That's-
liquid.
I'm going Liquid.
you know what? I'm going
Vitality.
Liquid too.
Yeah.
We got Team Liquid moving on or going up against BDS in the upper bracket final. BDS, Liquid. Liquid typically does well in the third regional. Remember,
Yeah.
back in winter, they won the third regional. BDS in a prime position to make the grand finals with Rise. Who's winning?
Liquid.
I got Vitality.
What?
Huh?
What?
Okay, last time they played, it was lower round 3.
Where
BDS
you
won
at?
3-1.
Wait, can we figure out what we're always looking at?
Yeah, what is he looking at?
Wait, I pulled up my own bracket. If y'all want to troll me,
Bro's up doing my own prediction.
Wait, all right, BDS Liquid.
I'm
going
for Liquid on this. Yeah, I'm Liquid.
If
on this
Liquid
one
beat
too.
Vitality, they gotta be BDS. I'm going Liquid.
Mhm.
Nope. All right, that's 3 for Liquid, up and down. Liquid's at the grand finals. Let's move on to the
All right.
lower bracket, please. All righty. Solary going up against Guild.
Give me the DOP.
Yeah,
I'm going K-Dop.
I'll go
give me
Solary.
the dub.
I'm with Garrett on this one too. So
All right, look, I'll take Mr. How many rings you got? 3. I'll take Mr. 3-time. Come on, Solary. I'll take him. Warriors Resolve versus Oxygen. Surely Oxygen wins this.
Oxygen,
Oxygen,
surely.
yeah, Oxygen.
All righty, I like that. Oxygen
Nagasaki
G1 once
Masterclass
again.
incoming.
Monaco versus
Ooh.
I'm gonna go. Ooh.
I'm gonna go so.
I'm gonna go
Yeah.
Yeah, go so.
So there we go. Hogan Mo versus Foo Fax Dop. I mean, do we even need to say
Come
it?
on.
Hogan
Hogan
Mo, come on. Hogan Mo moves on. There we go. Moist versus Solary. Moist.
Moist.
Moist. Sorry, dog.
Sorry, dog.
You're
Rip.
going home. G1 versus Oxygen. Oxygen.
I think
G1.
G1.
Yeah, I'm going G1 just because Noli mentioned that one random tournament that I didn't watch. So
Alrighty. Luna Galaxy Saw.
Luna.
Yeah, Luna.
Luna.
All right, Luna moves. PS3 Tundra Hogan mode. Hogan mode. I'm going with Hogan mode.
Hogan mode.
I'm going with Hogan mode.
All right, well, I guess we have no vote. Go ahead.
Moist G1. Oh, this is where G1's run has to end. Moist for me.
Moist.
Yeah, I gotta say Moist.
Alrighty. And Luna Galaxy versus Hogan mode. Hogan mode again.
Hogan
They're not being
mode.
stopped.
Come on. All right, we'll just do it. Go ahead. That was 3 again.
K Corp versus Moist.
Ooh.
K Corp.
I think I gotta go with the
K-Corp.
blue wall right here.
K-Corp.
I think I gotta
Got
go
the
with the blue
same
wall.
top 4.
But then Vitality, Hogan mode. Vitality, you're already in the lower bracket, and you're gonna stay there. Give me Hogan mode. I'm rolling with them.
I'm
Give
going
me
Vitality.
Scrum.
Vitality.
Give me Scrum Hogan mode over Vitality right there.
Guys, wait,
Damar,
this makes no
Damar,
sense.
you know you want to roll with them.
Wait. We all said we have Vitality winning the 3rd regional. We have to set them up for the.
Oh yeah, we
For the
did say that.
bracket
Give me Vitality.
No.
You gotta keep some credibility.
Garrett's Vitality. I need one more.
No,
No.
I need 2 Hogan modes.
Oh, I said
Roll,
Vitality.
Noli Hogan mode.
I said Vitality.
I can't be delusional with this one. I gotta go Vitality.
There we go. There we go.
All right, Kate Corp going against Vitality. All right, man, just pick Vitality with me. I know y'all want to.
Yeah,
Vitality.
Yeah, Vitality.
I mean, Vitality's already in my upper finals,
All right,
so I'm
just
just
move,
waiting for y'all to catch up.
Vitality
That's
all the way
insane.
up to the finals, please. Of course, you're gonna beat BDS.
Yep.
Yeah,
There
I
we
got
go,
Vitality there too.
All right, let's switch it over. Vitality's going to go up against who's in the final? Liquid.
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 Okay, here's the bracket reset. First series, Vitality and Liquid. Does Vitality force the bracket reset?
Yes.
think
They
so.
do, they
Yes.
do, but they lose in the second bracket.
Oh
No, they don't lose.
No, they win.
My prediction is that they lose to Liquids. I got Liquid taking this one.
I got Vitality. Give me the bees.
Garrett.
I'm gonna go Vitality just because we said they're winning 3, and I want to see it happen.
All righty, Vitality will win the European Spring Invitational. You heard it here on First Touch. Wow, what a bracket. Hogan mode. Don't worry, you'll make the run. I believe in you. I know you will.
Wait, if Hogan mode does that, do they make the major?
I don't know.
Potentially.
No. I don't think so.
Yeah, Sky said no immediately.
'Cause they weren't even in the last regional, right?
No, everyone said
Nah,
no.
they
Even
were
D-Rex said
terrible.
no. They said no.
Okay.
Not a chance. Not a chance. Well,
All right, time to get to the outro.
yeah. I think Sam's also going on this week as well. Just real quick, want to make sure I cover my bases. South America is going on this week. Previous champions were NIP. There is a race, I believe, 3-point race. Let me triple check. Yeah, Crew is in the lead at 44. Ninjas of Pajamas has 41. Team Secrets has 37. It's kind of close here a little bit. Remember, 2 Sam teams can go. So keep an eye on South America as Europe is going on. I want to give a quick shout out to our guests today, though, Garrett G and Noli. Thank you guys for joining us. It's always a pleasure. You guys are absolutely amazing and class acts.
Thank you for the
Appreciate
invite. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for bringing me back again.
Of course, we're all base. I mean, you guys
Might
do
not
what
be
y'all
back
do.
again.
Yeah.
You might. Gotta
Not to
go
pick
check the
the fines.
paperwork.
Europe's going on this weekend, though. It's going to be dope. I do want to give a quick shout out because I have this open and I see it right now. Birthdays today. Asalan, VK Sele, Seiko. Happy birthday today. That being said, of course, guys, keep it locked in here on twitch.tv/Rocket League this weekend. Figure out which European teams are going to go to the major. That's going to be it for us on First Touch. A little bit of a longer episode today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Be sure to, again, give big shout outs and thanks to everybody working behind the scenes. Sky, Chris, Kier, even Direct with some of the help there stat-wise. Jay, Ben, Ace with the thumbnails. Much love to all you guys for all the hard work you guys put in to make the show what it is week in and week out. Thank you guys so much. Of course, on behalf of Psyonix, thank you for allowing us to do this show on your channel. We appreciate it so much. And you guys at home watching, whether it's for drops or whether it's to clip us and post out and talk the talk, we still appreciate you guys being able to tune in and talk for this time slot. So Thank you guys so much for being you. Be good to each other, guys. We will see you guys next week to conclude Europe and to talk about North America's chances of making the spring major. 1, 2, toodaloo. We'll see you next week.